All right, I am so excited that we are back at this again. So if you saw my last video when I was working in this bathroom, you would have seen we had taken down the soffit and put a fresh coat of paint up. But then, of course, multiple of us ended up sick in the house, and we had to step back for a week before moving on any further. Well, this week we got our energy back up, and I was actually saying I'm actually glad we took that week off because it allowed us that time to like really think about what we wanted to do in this bathroom. And I am so thrilled with the way it is turning out. But so these are all the befores, and now back into the work. First thing first though is I had to take this glass tile down. I hated this stuff. It was a mix of, it almost looked like not thought about or unintentional, and it also just didn't match the house. It had more of like this glammy feel, and it just did not make sense at all. So I took the long, tedious time trying to get this down. Trust me, this looks a lot quicker on video because it is way sped up. But this was very, very time consuming. I think just getting this back section off easily took me about 30 minutes to an hour. So after I did get this back section off, you will see that I ended up going outside to work on a different project because I just needed to break it up. This was definitely one of those things that was getting so frustrating. Now, if you follow us on our family vlog channel, Cambria and Bobby, you would have seen some like behind the scenes in this bathroom. And one of them being Bobby and I shopping the other week, trying to decide what we wanted to do with the walls and the ceiling. With taking down that soffit and everything, I knew it was going to need something. The walls just were not looking the way I wanted them to. Now, I know I'm more of a perfectionist, and we did get them pretty good considering, but it was just bothering me. So after going to the store and everything and watching videos and searching up Pinterest inspiration, we decided to do these pine shiplap boards on the ceiling. But with that, it meant I really had to sand down this area to try to make it as smooth of a transition as possible when putting them up on the ceiling. Oh my goodness, this was such a mess. I shut the bathroom door because I didn't want all this dust going like throughout the rest of the house and the baby getting into it. And yeah, this got absolutely everywhere. It was so much worse than what I was even expecting. Now, when it comes to stain color, we are using the same stain that we used on all the wood in the rest of the house. So earlier you would have seen me just putting pre-stain on it, and here I am going in with the stain. Now, unfortunately, I can't give you the stain color because we actually custom mixed this stain way back when we first started doing the wooden stuff in the house. I could not find a stain I liked. Tried multiple things. Some were too dark, too light, and it was just driving me absolutely nuts. And finally, I decided to take a couple of the samples that we had of colors that I liked, but one was too dark, one was too light, and mix them together, and I came up with this color, and I absolutely love it. So I highly recommend experimenting sometimes when it comes to stain if you're having a hard time figuring out. I believe this is espresso and golden oak, something like that. I can't remember the lighter color mixed together. That is how I came up with this exact color. Oh, and by the way, I apologize if I sound a little off in today's voiceover. I have literally been working on this video all week, and I wanted to get it out to you guys so bad that it is 6 a.m. before taking the kids to school. I woke up and started doing this voiceover. That way I could get this video out to you today and you could see it. So if I sound a little off, that is why. I am still in my sleepy mode. I have not had my coffee yet, but I knew I wanted to get this all done and ready. That way you guys could see this transformation. A lot of you guys got a sneak peek on it in our family vlog yesterday, but I was so excited to show more of it coming together today. Now, one thing I was going back and forth on when it came to this glass tile is the side areas. And I didn't take them down right away, and I really thought about it because I was nervous about how much damage was going to be caused to the drywall and everything. And if it's your first time here, you may not know this, but if you've been with my channel, you know the drywall in our house can be difficult because it was built really, really well. So our house doesn't just have drywall on it. It is drywall with a good half an inch to a quarter of an inch of plaster and everything. So repairing it is not the easiest, which is why we decided to do the shiplap on the ceiling and stuff like that. But after getting that back panel down and really thinking about it, I was like, okay, I think I can work this out, because one good thing is we have a very highly textured walls in our house. And when we first moved in, I tried to smooth those things out, but it just was not happening. Nice thing about the textured walls, though, is it's a lot easier to blend everything together. So I ended up going in with some of the wall mud. You mix it with a little bit of water and then use this texture roller. And for the texture we already have in the house, this works so well. Like I said, we have a highly, highly textured house in our house. So I just went over it with this, and then any of the bigger areas that were like really chipped off the wall, I ended up actually filling in, and you'll see that here in a second. This ended up taking me all day though, because I wanted to get it right. I didn't want it to look like patchwork or anything, so I think I ended up doing 3 or 4 layers of this throughout the day as it was drying to really fill it in and give it more of a seamless look. But man, it was the next day that I was so looking forward to. Bobby and I at this point were just trying to figure out like where the drywall anchors were and studs and everything. That way we made sure that as we were putting it up, we would be hitting as many points as possible. And anywhere that we didn't have a drywall stud or something like that, we ended up crisscrossing our 2-inch brad nails. That way they would grip more to the drywall and plaster and everything that was on there. But as Bobby was putting these up, I was so in love. Like, this was the one point where my vision of this bathroom started coming together, and I was like, okay, it is going to look nice. And I always get that way. Like, I have visions in my head of how I want something to look, but I am definitely the type of person that questions my own ability of doing something. So when it comes to this point, when we actually start seeing it come all together, is such a relief.
Will you really need to speak to her? Her smile makes you feel like you are blessed. Will you really need to? Will you really need to see it? Oh, that girl, she's on top of the world. Her name is Eden. Number one, she's brighter than the sun. Her name is Eden.
I also think it's really important to remind you that these are definitely not one-day projects. So you don't see my outfit changing in this video, and that's purely because I wore the same outfit. I figured I didn't want to get stuff on any of my other clothes. So this outfit went in the wash at night, and I re-put it on in the morning. That way, this was the only outfit that was getting the drywall dust and paint or anything else on it. But this ceiling alone took us all day to put up, and it was very tedious. Like, the little cuts to get around things and everything. I definitely, in my brain, when I woke up that day, I'm like, oh, okay, this should just be able to like pop up, be good to go. That's never the case. I feel like when it comes to home DIY, there is always hiccups and stuff along the way of doing it. So yes, this was definitely an all-day project to get this done.
How many lies do we have to hide? When there's nothing left to say, well, the good time is over, then I'll be on my way, but I'll come around swinging.
However, to end the day on this date, Bobby did want to get up my beadboard on the back wall. He knew I wanted to get up in the morning and start working on these counters. So he's like, okay, we got the ceiling done. Let's just get up this beadboard. That way, he knew this was pretty much the end of the project for him. And he has been wanting to set up for Halloween, but we have been put on hold because of the storm in the Atlantic and everything. So he wanted to get his portion of this bathroom done as much as possible on this day. That way I could just keep going with my end of the project, which is the more detailed like stuff.
Time is running out, and the dream is over. You need some time to figure out that what comes around goes around. You say you always be around.
Oh, and as you can see, he also took off the faucets on the counter the night before. So I am definitely the one that is more of an early bird. I get up, take the kids to school, drink my coffee in the morning. Like, I'm definitely the one that is more early bird. So with that, I told him, I'm like, if you could make sure the faucets are off, like these couple things, that way I can get working on them right away in the morning and not wait till you get up later on. Because he's like usually in bed till like 10. He stays up late, which is actually nice because if the baby wakes up and it's like, let's say midnight, he deals with the baby because I am usually passed out. But I'm then up in the morning and he sleeps in. But for us, it works out really well. But I knew I wanted all of this so that way I could prep. So in our very first house, I had used one of these refinishing tub and tile kits in our main bathroom. And it was probably the first big DIY project I had ever done. I think I was 20 when I did this project, so it was many, many years ago. But I did learn from that project. You can see little Miss Athena wanting to join in on me. This part, luckily, was not too dirty, so I didn't mind her being in here. It really was just like scuff sanding. But so back to that first project, I had learned the most important thing when coming to a tub and tile kit is the prep. You really have to use a good cleaner on the product. You really want to scuff it down, get rid of that top coat and gloss and everything as much as possible. Even if they say, oh, it's not that big of a deal, the prep work is the most important part when it comes to this. And on camera, I will say these counters do not look that bad on camera, but in person, they definitely have that like creamy yellow honed marble look that just screams 90s. So they were something that definitely needed to go. And my thought was, I can do this and save us thousands of dollars doing it myself, or this messes it up, and either way I have to replace these counters. It was kind of a I couldn't lose situation. They had to be dealt with no matter what, and I was just hoping that this would be the more price efficient way to do it, especially since this vanity, there's no way to just like go out and buy a new vanity. So like in our bathroom, I went on Wayfair, I spent a couple $1,000s, but that got me counters, sinks, vanity, everything. I can't do that with this vanity with the way it's set in this wall and everything. So refinishing it really is the best option without having to rip it out and completely custom build a new piece of furniture.
I used to be kinda sane. I used to act kinda normal. I couldn't complain. Now it's never the same. I found myself picking pieces a scatterbrain. Look what you've done to me, my insanity. Oh baby, hey, I wish that I was a madman. So bad, baby.
Now with these counter refinishing kits, so I am using the Dwill Tub and Tile, and this is one of those things that you do have to trust the process. The first coat does not look pretty at all. Like, it is blotchy. You are going to be questioning yourself. The second coat, it starts coming together, but it is so important to use thin coats. Like, you don't want to cause drips or anything. So if you're like, oh, but it's so blotchy, that's okay. Let it be blotchy, because that, as you add the coats, will go away. But if you start getting those drips in your paint, there's not much you can do to fix it. So keep the coats really, really thin. And I set a 2-hour timer between coats, and I just went in every 2 hours on this day and added a coat. I did find that the brush in the sink ended up working better than the roller. It just was not the right shape for this. But yes, definitely when it comes to this, focus on thin, smooth coats over high coverage, thick coats. I ended up using 3 coats on this counter till I was happy with the full coverage. And you'll see, I did not show you guys every single coat that I did, because that would have been a lot of painting. But I did want to show you that first coat, and then obviously this second coat, because you'll see that this second coat really does make a huge difference when it comes to that blotchy and the part that really makes you question your decisions look on the counters.
Way back in '84, I fell in love for sure. We never meant to run, had no reason, we'd already won. What you wanna do? Chemicals just for fun. The feeling cuts right through. Someone stop me from bleeding.
But the fun part was, after getting the 3 coats on and waiting another 2 hours, I went in to start adding some marbling vein look effect to this. Now, I will say this terrified me, but I finally decided that if I truly hated the way that this looked, I could just do another coat of the white. It really was not going to be the end of the world, so I was going to try my hand at this. I had seen this all over different social medias and people making their counters have that more marbled effect, and I'm like, it looks fine white. I could just leave it white, but I did like the idea of it having this marbled look with the heavier veining. So I did it. I pulled the trigger, and I will say I am very happy with the way this took out. I just took the DeWill paint and mixed a little bit of color in with it. That way I could go in and just kind of play with it. I was using a dry stippling brush, and I don't know, just kind of playing it by ear. I had pulled up a couple Pinterest photos of marble to look at what type of veining I liked and the way it like looks on natural stone and everything. I probably spent the 2-hour dry time between coats just looking at marble, trying to figure out exactly what I wanted it to look like. And yes, it is another day. And the next project were these cabinets. Let me know in the comments below if you have been here since I first did like a mini update on this bathroom. It wasn't anything too crazy. We were in the midst of remodeling the entire house, but these orange cabinets were driving me crazy. So we just used some peel and stick wallpaper, put some paint on the walls, and it worked. It was much nicer than it was, but I'm definitely excited to do a more extreme makeover on this bathroom. But I was telling Bobby, I'm like, I forgot how hideous the color on these cabinets were till I started peeling off this peel and stick wallpaper that I had originally put on it. Yeah, I don't know who chose that color. However, I did end up choosing the color Irish Garden by Beyond Paint. Now, I have never used Beyond Paint, but so many people have raved about it. If you guys watch Amanda from This Crazy Life, like she's always raving about this paint. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. This cabinet is more like the type of cabinetry at, what is it called? IKEA. Like that's the type of material it is. So I knew it was a little bit harder to cover, and people swear by this stuff. They say it cleans to everything. It's a no sand, no prime type product, and it works really well. So I will let you guys know after a couple of weeks. I can't let you know yet because I have just put it on. Actually, literally, I put this on yesterday. Like I said, now it's like 7. I've got to hurry up. The kids and I have to leave soon for school. So I can't tell you the durability of it yet, but I will say this color, chef's kiss. I am obsessed with the color, especially in the bathroom. It makes it feel lighter and brighter and everything. And yes, absolutely loved this. I ended up doing 2 coats of this Irish Garden on everything. And same situation. I waited 2 hours between coats before putting on the next coat just to make sure that it had a nice smooth finish and didn't have to worry about it being like tacky or anything like that.
You say you wanna come over tonight. Yeah, you wanna make up and make it right. When everybody's looking for something else they can do, we try to make it work this time. We have let go of our doubts. Let's make it matter, 'cause we will never ever come down. It looks like we made it. If your heart should break on the map of my mistakes, I'm here if you need me.
This had to have been my favorite part, though, was getting the cabinets back on. I was having a hard time waiting on this part because I knew I had to wait because it would scratch if I didn't, but I also wanted to see it come back together so much that it was really, really hard to wait. Now, I will say, you guys are going to get the before and afters of like the big stuff in this bathroom. However, when it comes to decorating and everything, I'm actually going shopping today for it, but I needed to let the counters cure for a couple of days. So really, I should not put any decor on it till at least Sunday. I'd probably be fine tomorrow, but you have to really let them cure before you're like setting stuff on it and things like that. They say after 48 hours, you can use water and that type of stuff. But you know how it is. Like counters, when you're actually like putting heavy product on it and not moving it around, that is where the issue can come. So I have not decorated in this room yet, which I am super excited to do. But just seeing the things that I have done come together. However, I will say Bobby's like, I just wish it was completed, because he knows that this, yes, makes a big difference. You can see the difference, but once you pull it all together with decor, it makes a massive difference. As you can see though, the bathtub became our catch-all. Like, all the products I was using was in here because we still needed this to be a functional bathroom. This is still the bathroom that the kids were using to get ready in the morning. I will say, after I started painting, I did have them start brushing their teeth in our bathroom as well as showering and everything. But we still needed to keep this as functional as possible. But here's for the exciting part. You guys get to see all the before and afters. But like I said, if you are new here, make sure you subscribe, because in the next video is when we get to decorate it. And oh my goodness, I just know that is what's going to pull this all together. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite part of this DIY makeover was, if you would try any of these projects yourself. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, you got me thinking, oh, you got me thinking out loud. You kept me waiting, waiting for the next time around. My heart is beating faster than the beat of a drum. Oh, we're all excited, just waiting for the night to come. I'm getting ready, ready, 'cause we're second tonight. Oh, won't you come a little closer? When you got what you need, when you hurt, you still bleed. Well, it's time that you come down. Without love, when you're down on your luck, you can make it. Without love, we all fall hard. Oh, you got me spinning, spinning like a map.